All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Houston Texans rookie offensive lineman tackle Blake Fisher. Fisher stepped up in a big way for the Houston Texans last week. I think the Texans have a steal on the second rounder. He continues to get better and better. We'll break down everything he's doing so well. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up with a pass protection. There is Fisher right there on the right side of your screen. You can see the Miami Dolphins. They've got Chop Robinson, their young pass rusher extraordinaire, number 44. He's lined up in a really wide, I guess you could call that maybe a wide 5 technique, maybe a wide 9, but you can see the width right there. You can see this defensive lineman inside in this A gap right here. Basically, the thought is you're going to try to get width here, have an A gap defender right there to either pull the guard this direction so you have this defensive lineman with a lot of space to make a move. That's normally what happens. The Dolphins try and confuse the rookie Fisher. They actually slant Robinson inside like this and blitz off the edge. The whole point here is to get Fisher really concerned about Robinson, react to the inside move. The edge rusher comes off the edge and kills CJ Stroud. Fisher doesn't fall for it, does a great job picking it up. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Robinson go inside. There's the edge rusher right there on the right side of your screen. Fisher doesn't take the cheese. Patient, patient, patient. Pass protect, runs him upfield. CJ Stroud hits the open guy. Nice play. Obviously not a perfect game for the CJ Stroud and the Texans offense against Miami. That goes without saying. Offensive line has been a big issue for the Houston Texans. But I tell you what, folks, the more I watch Blake Fisher, look, far from perfect, definitely some things to work on. He just gets it. He understands just instinctively the best way to play offensive line in terms of timing, what defenses are trying to do. Notre Dame is obviously where he went to school. They do a great job coaching up their guys. I think we see a lot of that with Fisher. He's got solid technique. He's not the most physically dominant, right? He's not elite. He doesn't flash off the screen with, oh my gosh, plays. He's just a good football player, and this play is a good example of that. All right, from the wide copy, watch him right there at right tackle. Watch how he recognizes his corner come, knows he's coming, patient, runs him upfield. Again, no pressure to CJ Stroud's face, works to his progression, hits the open guy. This can be the Texans offense. This is what it should be, right? If they weren't so bad in pass protection a lot of times during the season, this is what it should be. Teams, you can see this deep coverage. They're scared to death of CJ Stroud, Collins, and some of these other guys just absolutely eviscerating them over the top. This intermediate passing game, I mean, look at this attention. Oh my gosh. The intermediate passing game is there all game long as a second read. They just need better protection. Blake Fisher recognizes, reacts right here, picks up the blitzer, gives Stroud that better protection. All right, going with the running game now, you can see Fisher right there, number 57 at right tackle for the Houston Texans. This is just basically going to be inside zone or wide zone, whatever you want to call it, this direction to the offensive left side of your screen. They're going to take the receiver in motion pre-snap, then orbit him around and go that way right there. Again, just trying to hold linebackers and safeties right here. The whole point here is to try and get the left tackle working this way, the left guard working this way, the center working this way, right guard reach block right here, and basically get these defensive linemen flowing this way, and then the running back to cut behind. That's the ideal. The problem is, and you guys can see it by alignment, if the Dolphins have guys here, 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 and this guy here, who's going to pick up this linebacker? That falls on Fisher way over here to go off this defensive lineman's heels and pick up the linebacker. He does a great job. He's probably the only guy on this play, actually, that does a really good job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a receiver in motion. There's a snap. You can see right there the wide zone, inside zone look to the left side of your screen. You can see right away the center. This is a tough block, but he doesn't get there. Penetration. Guard reaches the backside defensive lineman just like this, but he gives up a lot of ground. There's no room really for Mixon to run. Does a good job just running around, trying to bounce through guys, ends up falling down. Let's look at Fisher, though. This is one of the more underrated blocks I've ever seen. Look at where this linebacker starts, right? Basically right on the hash a little bit to the right. You can see where Fisher starts. Fisher basically cuts him off right there. He completely cuts him off, gets his head on the right side right there. If there's even halfway decent blocking, this is probably a touchdown or at least a much better run right here. He's able to follow these blocks and score because Fisher has this backside linebacker reached. This is great athleticism. This is understanding of angles. Look at his path. You see how he goes right off the heels of that defensive lineman? Right there, right on his heels. That's the perfect angle to take. Then bends it, gets his helmet in the right position. Again, is it a highlight reel play? No, but it's just good, solid, fundamental Fisher. Good, solid, fundamental football from Fisher. There you go. I finally spit it out. Nice rep from the rookie.
Yeah, Nick, and I think the important thing to know about Fisher is really this is only his second full game of the season. He got thrown in week 5 against the Buffalo Bills. Really quiet, maybe a couple games, 6 snaps here, 2 snaps there. Not a whole lot for him. Second real full game of the season against the Miami Dolphins. And what does he do? he puts up one of his best scores of the year. Last time I said his first full game against the Buffalo Bills, we're looking at his run block grades, 38 overall grade there. Not very good, but getting sprung into a game, you're never really going to expect something good. Here against this Miami team, 55.5, a massive increase for Fisher in his second overall game. Takes a long time for offensive linemen to gel and learn how to play in the NFL. Fisher, it looks like he's learning very quickly as his grades shoot up in just his second full game of the season.
All right, going with another pass protection. There's Fisher, of course, right there at right tackle, left side of your screen for the Houston Texans. You can see the Miami Dolphins. They've got a lot of people walked up, right? They've got two guys in the A gap. They've got their defense lineman here. They got some edge rushers right here. And they actually drop a lot of guys into coverage. What happens is they drop this guy that way, the defensive end this direction, have Calais Campbell 93 work around like that. They have 20 fire this way. This defensive lineman come through like this edge rusher just like this right here. So basically the whole point here is they're trying to get one-on-one matchups on the rookie because they like that matchup, and then to overload the opposite side. Interestingly enough, the only guy who does his job right here is Blake Fisher. Once again, it was a common theme. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap right there. You can see 6 and 44 dropping into coverage. You can see Calais Campbell, 93, working to the left side of your screen, going to Fisher. You can see 20 going right, 92 coming around, and it's just a massive collapse of the pocket around the quarterback. Left tackle, that's not terrible, right? He's running his guy upfield. That's not his fault, but eventually right there, you can see the people around the C.J. Stroud, 3 Miami Dolphins. The only Miami Dolphin pass rushing that's not around C.J. Stroud is the guy Fisher's blocking, right? Let's go back to the very beginning here. Watch Fisher. Again, he's one-on-one on Chop Robinson by assignment. He takes his kick step. Look how fast he flashes his eyes inside. He sees Robinson right there dropping a coverage. Watch his head. Bang. Right to Calais Campbell. He knows he's coming. Smart, savvy football player. Picks him up. Great base. Arms extended. You talk about technique. This is perfect. Stays with him. Hands inside. Great job there. Runs him upfield. Dominates the rep undeniably. His teammates, not so much. Blake Fisher, winning football here. All right, from the wide copy, watch Fisher right here. Recognize 44 goes away. Snap right in Calais Campbell. Pick him up. Great base, great technique. Again, right here, C.J. Stroud's on the ground. He's the only guy still blocking. The other 3 Dolphins are free. They're around the quarterback. Stroud's on the ground. Fisher doing his job. The rest of the guys, not so much. Obviously, he's got a lot of things to improve on. He was far from perfect, as any rookie will be, especially a second rounder. But I tell you what, Houston Texans fans, I'm starting to think you got yourselves a little bit of steal here, because Fisher's the guy who only gets better the more he plays. All right, sticking with the pass rush, there's Fisher right there, of course, at right tackle. He's going to be one-on-one the whole way against Chop Robinson. Again, the Dolphins pass rusher extraordinaire, rookie in his own right, number 44 for Miami. This is a really kind of quick game passing concept, but I love this play from Fisher because it just highlights how good of a pass protector he will be. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. Stroud in the pocket. Gets rid of it quickly, right? No real time for any pass rusher to get to Stroud unless it was a quick, beating the offensive lineman right off the rip. But here's what I love about this play when you break down it technically for Fisher. He just naturally understands angles. He gets into his kick slide. Robinson right here, he wants to go speed or speed to power. Those were his 2 moves. So Fisher gets some depth right here, cuts off the speed. Right here, Robinson goes to power, and then Fisher anchors down his foot, extends, and then runs him upfield. Again, quick game, balls out, has no real effect on the play, but I just love his timing. I love how he understands angles and spacing, right? He doesn't look at this delta in the space between these two, this big delta right here, and say, I got to cover it. He's patient. He knows he's bigger and stronger than Robinson and says, I'll let you come to me, right? I'll do a good job cutting you off in terms of the quick speed win. I'll cut off your speed to power. I'll let you come to me, and then I'll lock you down. This is really nice from Blake Fisher.
Yeah, Nick, can we talk about the pass blocking game for Fisher? As I alluded to, second full game this season. What does he do? He comes out and plays fantastic in the pass blocking game. His pass blocking efficiency was off the charts. Stat that measures pressures allowed on a per snap basis, weighted heavily towards allowing sacks. This is a guy that had a 96.9% pass blocking efficiency on 50 snaps. He only allowed 1 pressure, 1 total pressure. Really good job by Fisher here. I think he's showing really good promise in the pass blocking game.
All right, this is kind of one of the under the radar plays that can be the difference between winning and losing. You can see Fisher, of course, he's right there. This is going to be a speed sweep. So the Texans are going to bring a wide receiver right here, pre-snap motion, and hand him the football. Fisher's job is to work this way, rip through the defensive line, and then work his way up to the backside safety, number 21, to try and cut him off as best he can. Now, 9 times out of 10, when this happens, as the offensive lineman, you're just trying to slow up the safety, make him run underneath you or bubble up in front of you, just like that around you, just to buy your guy a lot of space. Because there's no way, as an offensive lineman, you can handle a defensive back in space. Just ain't going to happen. Fisher does an underrated job right here, allowing this play to develop, creating a big play for the Texans offense because of it. Let's check it out. All right, there's a motion. There's a speed sweep on the edge right there. So right here, it looks completely bottled up. Receiver does a great job making a man miss, jumping outside, making another man miss, turns it into a really nice play. Great job right there. But where's the backside safety, right? All these Miami Dolphins, when they cut off him right here, they're like, okay, if I force him back inside and slow him down, our backside safety is going to be there. Where's the backside safety? He's being blocked in space by 57, thrown back inside. This is why this play is opening up. This is why it's a big play. Because 99 times out of 100, when I watch this play, the backside safety's right here and tackles him for a 1 yard gain or a loss, right? Except with Blake Fisher working him to the next level. Let's watch his technique here. Rip through the line, nice jump, bend it out, get out in space. Again, is it elegant? Does it just ooze natural athleticism? No, no, not really. But he just gets the job done, understands angles, spacings, his assignment, seals off the backside safety, results in a big play for the Texans offense. All right, from the wide copy, you can really see it. Watch him get up to the next level. Again, right here, this backside safety is running for a beeline sprint. If he's unevaded, he gets to the receiver right here and blows him up for no gain, maybe a little loss. But Fisher playing in space against a safety, all this green grass, right? Look at all this space. Safeties, corners, they love going against offensive linemen like this, but Fisher cuts them off, calm, cool, collected, throws them down inside. That's all you need. Again, underrated block. Not a lot of attention on the broadcast or anything like that. Not a highlight film play. But this is just winning football, understanding the assignments, getting out in space, understanding angles, opening up a big play for your offense. All right, this next play is an example of how stats can sometimes lie. So you can see Fisher right there at right tackle. The Houston Texans, they're going to slide the protection one gap over to the offensive right, the left side of your screen. So the center is going to take this gap. This guard's going to take this gap right here while keeping a heavy inside hand and inside foot on this defensive lineman lined up in what we're going to call a 2-eye technique. Fisher is going to basically take this gap right here, which basically means he's going to be one-on-one on 44. And then on the backside, we're going to get one-on-one right there, and we're going to get one-on-one right here. You can see the receiver coming in motion right here pre-snap. Again, they're just trying to get a zone or man key and maybe run into some pass pattern development with him coming in motion. But in terms of pass protection, it's eventually going to end up being a one-on-one block between Fisher and Robinson. Fisher wins the day and does a great job, even though it results in a sack. Let's check it out. All right, there's the motion. There's a snap. You can see right there, offensive line center taking a step to his right. Offensive guard looking in the gap to his right with a heavy inside hand. One-on-one on the backside between left guard and left tackle. Let's watch Fisher right here with this technique against a really good rookie pass rusher in Robinson. Again, could kick slang. Is a little late with the punch, but he's so strong. Works him upfield, drives him upfield, powers him through right there. That's winning football, obviously. CJ Stroud escapes, ends up falling down, and Blake Fisher's guy ends up getting the sack, or at least credit for the sack. And that goes against the Fisher statistics as surrendering a sack. The reality is this is great pass protection, right? You guys can count how long CJ Stroud had to throw the football here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? This is the definition of a coverage sack. This isn't on Fisher. This is a really solid job. Again, is it technically perfect? No. I will say I love how he never gives up the inside move. Never allows these edge rushers, or at least very rarely does, I should say that, beat him inside. He forces them to work around. That's what the great tackles do. He gets dinged with a sack on this play, even though it's not his fault.
Yeah, Nick, and I think that's a perfect example of what I brought up earlier. Only one pressure on this game for Fisher in his second full game. This is the pressure we're talking about. This guy's done a really phenomenal job all over the board, very consistent for this team. Otherwise, he's played clean football as well. Only one penalty on the season. I say he's only played 2 full games, but he's played in 6 games total this season in some capacity overall. I think Blake Fisher doing a really great job being in there intermittently, having to be thrown into games, everything, on a dime, never knowing when he's exactly going to have to be called up to be that guy. I think he's done a very good job for this Texans team. I think given the opportunity, this could grow into be a solid role player for this Texans team.
All right, let's end on a running play right here with a really good block from Fisher, of course, at right tackle. He's going to be one-on-one against Calais Campbell, really good defensive lineman for a long time in the National Football League. But this play is a perfect example of everything that's going wrong with the Houston Texans offense. So let me explain. So it's just going to be a standard kind of zone running scheme right here to the offensive right. We're going to get base block there. We're going to get a reach block here. Center working up to the next level, trying to cut off this backside player. We're going to get a reach block here. We're going to get a seal here. We're going to get zone double team right here, working up to linebacker, working out just like this. What happens here, it actually looks really darn good. The center gets a good cutoff block. We get a great reach here. We get movement right here with Fisher getting a dislocation. These guys get up to the next level. Everything gets cut off on the backside. There is a huge cavern that opens up right here. Should have been like a 40-yard run. The problem is one guy, number 12, does a terrible job, and it ends up being a minimal play. This is what's wrong with the Texans offense. Fisher does a solid job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see everyone taking their zone tracks. We can see hats on hats right there. Up to the next level, up to the next level. Look at this right guard with this reach block. Right there, seals him off. Very nice. Look at the center, get up to the backside. Runs him upfield. Very nice. Look at this green grass, folks. Oh my goodness. Left guard, left tackle, they do their job just good enough right there. Completely seal off. Look at this green grass. Look at that cutback opportunity. Let's look at Fisher right here, driving to Calais Campbell, a great veteran player. Look at that movement. Look at the dislocation, right? The snap happens, what, right around 1 yard short of that 5-yard denominator. Watch where Fisher drives him. What, 2 yards back? And let's look how far he started. Maybe about 3.5 yards to the left of the hash. Where does Campbell end up? About a yard to the right of the hash. So we're talking 1 yard back, 4 to the right, dislocating the defense. That's what you're talking about. Man, this is great from Fisher and the rest of the offensive line. Look at this. This could have been something. Why is it a small game? Let's look at 12. Look at this. Low effort, poor job. Guy makes the play. Again, Mixon right here sees this cutback lane. If 12 does a halfway decent job, look at this green grass. There is nobody here. This is probably a touchdown or at least a huge run. This is what's wrong with the Texans offense. Texans fans, I know you guys are frustrated offensively. A lot of you guys blame Slowick. You can't blame this on the coach. You can't blame this on the play caller. This is a beautiful play call against a defense where it works great. There's the cutback. This is how you draw it up literally, except you have one guy who's supposed to be your star not doing his job. I mean, that I don't know if that's effort. I don't know if he doesn't know what his assignment is. I have no idea, but that's just terrible by 12. Should have been a touchdown, should have been a big play. Wasn't. Can't happen in big games, right? You can beat the Dolphins doing that. You can't make playoff runs doing that. They got to fix it. But I tell you what, you can win with playoff game, can make playoff runs with, can win playoff games with, is Fisher's movement at the point of attack. We know he's a good pass blocker. We've covered that a lot this cut up. But what he does in the running game, he can get up to the next level. We covered that early as well. He's smart. He's savvy. Now we're seeing his physical nature, feet in the ground, driving people off the line of scrimmage. Love to see it from the rookie. All right, let's watch it from the wide copy. Texans fans are going to be sick. Look at this cutback lane. Oh my good. Look at this right here. Imagine if 20's blocked. Look at that. I mean, that's a 70-yard touchdown run. Look at this movement Fisher delivers. Look at the line of scrimmage, starts right on the 29, drives him, gets on him, walks him back, walks him to the right. Look at this crease. That is a huge hole. This is a massive hole. Look at this. Go right, cut back right here. That's exactly where Mixon's running. He's running right into 20 because that's where he's supposed to run and cut it back, but 12 doesn't get the job done. Throw your body in there. Play physical. Be aggressive. Get your head in front. This is just bad football, right? This is why the Texans are struggling. I know a lot of people want to blame the offensive line, and rightly so. There's been a lot of issues, although Fisher, I think, is quickly becoming a bright spot. Like I said, he looks like a steal. This isn't just an offensive line issue. It's a team-wide issue. They need to fix it, but I think Fisher's one of those guys who can help them do it.